like to play with fire.
When you go in to kiss him, pull him in by his belt.
See, that's dangerous. Don't do that. Because I will not be responsible for anything that happens after that.
Of course I can do Aizawa. Like, get mad. If you are lying on the couch, he will come lie on you. Play with his hair so he knows it's real. I envision a lot of, like, blanket forts and movie nights. He really likes it when you wear his clothes. This man cannot do his own damn hair, which means he's at your mercy. If you put braids in it, he will leave them there. Sometimes he just pulls you into his lap and holds you there, especially if he's grading papers. Y'all go on really low-key dates and the food is always immaculate because Aizawa knows all the good little hood spots and the holes in the wall. Vacations are also very low-key. That man loves an onsen. He has great hands for massages. I'm bringing this back from an old video because I love it. Aizawa has an incredible record collection, and sometimes he will throw on Otis Redding, grab you, and y'all will slow dance in the middle of the floor. The hugs and the cuddles, immaculate. Be good to him, he deserves it.
Another Aizawa XU headcanon? Abso-fucking-lutely. Previously, Aizawa had rescued you from a villain who created you as an experiment. Over time, he's helped you develop your quirk and you guys fell in love. Even though you have better control of your quirk, sometimes when emotions are running high, it still gets the best of you. So you decide to spend the night at Aizawa's house and you guys fall asleep together. In the middle of the night, you start having terrible nightmares. Aizawa doesn't notice until he sees that you're activating your own quirk in your sleep. He tries to gently wake you up at first, but it's no use. The nightmare is so horrific that you start to scream. At this point, Aizawa starts to shake you to try and get you to wake up, and you jolt forward in the bed. Even though you're awake, you're still emotionally distraught and your quirk is wreaking havoc on your body. Aizawa pins you down to the bed as best as he can and he tries to coach you through the episode. But the dreams were so vivid that you think you're still there and you can't control it anymore. Your power becomes way too much for your body to handle and your nose starts to bleed and your ears start to bleed. Aizawa has to think fast and he quickly uses his quirk to disable yours.
Everybody shut up! I'm in my feels!
Did someone say more Aizawa falls in love with you headcanons? No. Aizawa's not the kind of guy who blushes, but he thinks he blushes easily. So whenever he's around you or you say something kind of cute or whatever and he thinks he's blushing, he just will kind of futz with his scarf or his turtleneck a little bit like, don't see me blushing, but he's not really blushing. Aizawa is an attentive caregiver by nature, whether he wants to be or not. So you two will be walking around and he'll, like a gust of wind will hit and he'll be like, oh, it's kind of chilly. He'll look at you and immediately just take his scarf off or his jacket and be like, here, take this, it's cold. You've probably heard this before, but you can hear it again. Aizawa doesn't think he's handsome. He doesn't have a flashy quirk. He doesn't think he's a fucking stud. So whenever you kind of touch his hair or just kind of like tell him he's handsome, he's just like, futz him with that scarf again. Love.
I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm a lonely night. I love you, baby. Oh, girl, won't you stop? Won't you stop to get enough? Oh, honey, honey pie, honey, honey, honey pie.
This headcanon was requested, so let me just say I hope you're ready for some pain. You used to work as a pro hero, but recently a catastrophe happened and you lost the use of your legs. You're going through physiotherapy to try and regain use of them, but the doctors don't know if you're ever going to be able to walk again. One day you're at home with Aizawa and he's downstairs doing laundry and you decide to go and get yourself a drink. So you shift yourself from the couch to your wheelchair and you make your way to the kitchen. You're trying to see over the counter and you realize that the kettle is pushed all the way back up against the wall. You can barely reach it, so you decide to push yourself up with one arm on your wheelchair and reach across the counter to try and grab the kettle. You're just about to reach it when your supporting arm slips from underneath of you and you fall forward on the floor. The hot water from the kettle spills all over your body. Aizawa can hear you fall from downstairs and he rushes to you. You're frustrated and you're angry as he comes towards you because you feel like a burden to him. Aizawa tries to help you up, but you push him away instead. You're crying and you're the biggest mess and you tell him that you feel pathetic. Like for part—
Can I have my sweater back?
Can I have my virginity back?
Everyone has Uno, dipshit. It came free with your fucking Xbox.
I didn't get it. I have the oldest Xbox known to man.
Loose out the bottle. We all get fit in again tomorrow. Gotta break rules cause that's the motto. Club shut down 100 supermodels.
Hey, I heard you were a wild one. Ooh.
Go forward slowly. It's not a race to the end. Well, you look like yourself, but you're so— Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted. We could do it real big, bigger than you ever done it. You be up on everything. Other hoes ain't never on it. I want this forever. I swear I could spend whatever on it. Cause she hold me down.
Don't make me get violent. I want my ring back, baby. That's a diamond. You don't listen anyways. I'll be quiet. I don't really feel like fighting.
Sensei Aizawa, XU headcanon. So just recently you've been rescued from a villain who created you as an experiment. Your quirk is very hard to control and it physically hurts you when you use it. Since Aizawa was the one that rescued you, he thought it'd be fitting if he was the one to help you gain control of your quirk. A lot of your quirk's power is triggered through emotions, so Aizawa has to bring up all of the terrible things that happened to you while you were experimented on. Aizawa was trying to push you into making progress, but he pushes a little bit too far and the emotions run too deep. The more you get lost in your emotions, the more your quirk starts to overpower you and it starts to damage all the veins in your hands and in your arms. Aizawa can see that it's hurting you, but he doesn't step in right away because he wants to see if you can control it. As much as you want to do good and be good, you just can't because you get too lost. Eventually your quirk becomes too strong and Aizawa has to step in to make sure that you don't hurt yourself any further. He quickly uses his quirk to disable yours and he catches you just before you fall to the ground. While examining the damage, Aizawa realizes that all the bones in your hands and arms have been broken. He still tells you that you did amazing, but that's enough training for today, and he takes you to Recovery Girl to get some aid. The end!
Or wish I off myself instead, wish I was never born. Cause my goal